this mean for baseball?
I think it's the best thing to happen to baseball in years. I truly, truly do. And I literally stood up and applauded Bauer for saying what he said, because baseball has damaged itself by holding on to tradition so religiously. They don't realize how far they've come in terms of coming across as being completely detached to their viewing audience and society as a whole. It ain't about you and what you want and your way of doing things anymore. You know, it's not about policing yourself and policing the game for yourself. No. Some intervention needs to take place from time to time. And when I think about Bauer, this is a guy that talks a lot of smack, and he walks off the mound, and, you know, he's got his little swag with him. And you go up against the Padres, who have been giving it to the Los Angeles Dodgers this year. I think they've won like 6 out of the 7 meetings they've had against one another. Came back from a 7-1 deficit yesterday in the 6th or the 7th inning. Dustin May pitched his tail off for the Dodgers, but obviously your relief, your your staff out of the bullpen couldn't hold it down. David Price had a hamstring injury, Max, after giving up about 3 hits and 2 runs and stuff like that. They had to yank him out of there, and everything fell apart. Tatis is a big-time baller, earned this $1 million. A matter of fact, it's bringing attention to Lindor with the New York Mets, because Tatis is earning this money. Lindor,
Tatis,
what the hell are you doing? The 2021 Major League Baseball season has started, Lindor. Where the hell are you? Okay,
well,
I'm rooting for
Lindor's
him.
A different
Not
kind
against
of
the
player.
Yankees. Not against the Yankees, but I'm rooting for him. But you got to show up. You can't demand, Max. Remember, he got offered $325 and held out for $341. $1 million more than Tatis. Okay, well, play like Tatis then. Okay, I'm just saying that to Lindor. Back to the Padres. Padres are balling. They got a lot of talent. Picked up Darvish and Snell in the offseason. I like what they're doing. I appreciate the rivalry. It's great. But back to Bauer, the fact that you said after Tatis smacks the home run off of you, walks, and he's strutting and he's talking, you're like, it's good for the game. No more, oh, we're going to retaliate by hitting you with a pitch because we didn't like how you acted or anything like that. I love that. I love the fact that I saw Kershaw going at one of the Padres the other day, Max, and telling them that was BS, that he just did like a check swing to get a little hit. Like, I'm coming at you. Come at me. That's competition. It's what we want. It's what we live for when we watch sports. We want to see 2 people playing the sport within the realms of competition and decorum and decency, going at each other with fervor, trying to take you out. Not cheating, not being Bush League. It's me against you. Let's get it on. And I love the fact that Kershaw did that. I love the fact that Bauer did it. I love the fact that the Padres have embraced it. And I'm telling you right now, when the Padres and the Dodgers, the best thing that could happen for baseball is for those 2 teams to meet in the postseason. It'll be special. Dodgers took them out last year. It'll be special if they met each other again this year. It's great for baseball that they're ingratiating themselves with the times, because their old way of doing things don't work for that viewing audience in today's day and age. And they need to do a better job as individual athletes of better promoting their sport before it dies right before their very eyes. I love the fact that Bauer said that, and this is going on in baseball right now. I love it.
This is a debate show, but I don't know if we can debate this, although I will debate one thing before I get to my point, Stephen A. Tatis and Lindor are different kind of players. Lindor reminds me of when the Mets signed Carlos Beltran. He has a wide base of skills. He does a lot of things, better than most, but no one thing that jumps out at you like, oh my God, that's the best I've seen. He's an above-average fielder, base stealer, power hitter, all those things. Tatis is a special kind of offensive talent that's different.
But I'm not getting specific. I'm just saying earn your money. In other words, you got 341.
Overtime, Lindor
play
should.
like it.
Yeah,
play like it.
overtime, Lindor should,
That's
but he's
all
not
I'm
the
saying.
type of player that's going to wow you the way Tatis is.
I'm not getting specific.
Because it's more. All right, look, I'll say this. Let me say this. We often lament the fact that baseball has its unwritten rules and its way of doing things. And Stephen A., really what we're talking about is a culture that comes from more of a monolithic culture, a one way of doing things back in the day. Read white. I mean, there was a color barrier in baseball. And I want to say something about that, because there are lots of things that this country should be grateful about in terms of the puritanical culture, right? Because that's the kind of puritanical work ethic. It's not that other cultures don't also work hard or have good work ethics, but that is really stressed in the kind of puritanic that founded this country, basically, landed on Plymouth Rock. The point is that it comes with frugality and modesty, right? It's not just that you work hard, you put your head down and work, lots of culture, but also be modest and be humble and kind of self-contained. And that's not everybody's background. And what we see as sports have gotten, and the mainstream coverage of them has gotten more diverse, it's like, wait a minute. Just because it started out in one kind of culture doesn't mean it has to be there forever. Stephen A., I notice as a boxing fan and a baseball fan, those sports becoming increasingly marginalized, not exclusively because there are other issues too, but partly because they lack showmanship that some other competing sports have. Basketball and football have better showmanship. When I look at boxing and just even entertainment like the WWE or the UFC, right, another sport like the UFC, I see a level of showmanship and a difference in terms of culture that benefits those sports. And I think baseball is aware now that we have a certain way of doing things over here. Yeah, but not every culture that plays baseball does. And the more baseball embraces that, the diversity and the different way of doing things, the better off it'll be.
Yeah, amen. Amen. They need to they need to show up with the times. I mean, damn, the NBA and the NFL are arguably more popular, even though the NBA has been struggling as of late. The bottom line is that in terms of ingratiating itself with that younger viewing audience, the NBA and the NFL have done an exceptional job of doing so. Major League Baseball hasn't done it purely because of its arrogance and its stubbornness as a sport. And these athletes need to do a better job, as Alex Rodriguez and others have pointed out, promoting their own damn sport and acting like you care about what the viewing audience wants to see. How about that? Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.